I remember seeing the call sheet and seeing the whole cast, and it was definitely a talented cast, a lot of experience, and I think that's going into a project, usually with magnitude of the actors and actresses that have that much talent. You want to be able to bring your A game as much as possible, just to be not only part of the team, but to contribute to the project to making it as successful as it is. So I think it's not more being afraid to perform, but making sure that you're bringing your A game when you do.
And when you're sort of researching into the character, obviously the character we play will reveal it now. You play a Cesaro, an enforcer, a hitman for the cartel boss. You're trying to retrieve Christina Villa's character, and dare I say, dead or alive, it doesn't matter as long as she's sort of terminated. When you're playing those sort of hitmen and sort of enforcers, do you sort of you probably have a body of work in terms of that, but you always do a bit of research. You go out and look what other people have done. Do you look at bits of TV series and see, can I take something out of this? Can I maybe take a facial expression, a move, maybe a bit of body movement? Or you always trying to enhance that sort of enforcer cartel guy to make him look believable and also to make him look menacing?
Yes, actually, with I have a military background. I was in the United States Marines for 8 years, and that military mindset that you tend to have never leaves you because it's ingrained in your training and your persona and your character. So a lot of the cartels and sicarios and hitmans that are part of the cartel culture in the mafia, they're more to be that militant, want to achieve the mission at all costs. And like that character, when he's trying to pursue her dead or alive, that's kind of one of the things that you want to do. And for me, I try to stay as organic as possible and just get myself into that military mindset again to make sure that the character does its true form. Now, through things that I guess, depending on the region that you're from, in Mexico, they tend to have different characteristics and how they carry themselves, which is more from if you get anything from the East Coast, they're more Caribbean like that, more easygoing, and rural you'll get into, which you get into the hills and whatnot. Those guys tend to be more machismo type like that. They're old school mindset, like as old school as you can get, and they want to be as direct as possible and menacing as possible.
Yeah, so we have a different element. We have cold silence killers, and then we have the cocky guys who wants to flash their weight about in terms of
Right.
the whole power sort of ego trip. And tell me, in terms of working with Dolph, did he pass a few terms or maybe notes, or where he wanted you to go with this character? Where did he see it, or did he leave it very much in terms of your own vision? Did he say, go work with this, go have fun with this, Robert, in terms of Cesario, see what you come up with, and I'm looking forward to it? Or did he give you a free reign, dare I say?
Yes, that's one of the things that I do have to commend him on. He's an amazing director, and from an actor mindset, he pretty much just places you into the position and says, "Okay, show me what you got." And from that, he will definitely tweak here and there, but pretty much stands that'll be for camera purposes or lighting purposes. But if your character isn't delivering roughly what he needs, he'll kind of tweak you into a sense. But yeah, coming into the set, and when we went over the cold reading on the day, he was very thorough, like, right, shoot me. I'm like, okay. And I just started kind of going into my own tool personas and characters in my head. I'm like, okay, I'm like, I think this character will be this type of person. And when they yelled action, I just delivered the dialogue that they had. And then he's like, hey, can you give me something more? Can you add more to him? Like, yeah, definitely. And I just started writing off more dialogue that I think my character would be saying on the day. And he was happy with it. And usually if the director's happy and the stunt coordinator's happy, I walk away free.
And dare I say, in terms of being that sniper, in terms of the action, in terms of the stunt scenes, we know some people meet their demise. Dare I say, is there, without giving too much away, is there blood on your hands in this movie, Robert?
It's definitely an action-packed, bloody sequence. I would say that is that, but
Okay.
it's man, a lot of the firefighting that we did, we try to keep it as organic and as real as possible. just because everybody's mentally always picturing that a gunfight is very proper, and there's nothing usually that goes wrong as far as like misfires or jams or anything like that. And on the day, just because of the conditions that we were at, it was really hot and really dusty, that when you start getting to the weapons, they tend to jam up with the grease and everything. So you have to be quick to clear them out and recycle your rounds to continue pursuing the film without yelling cut.
Okay, and in terms of the schedule, in terms of shooting the movie, in terms of New Mexico, was it a short stint for you coming from Los Angeles in California to make your way down? And were you there for a good bit in terms of production and sorts of shooting? Were you there for maybe two weeks or 3 weeks, or was your stint maybe all shot within a sequence of 3 to 4 days?
We ended up shooting our particular sequence roughly within the span of a week.
Okay.
It took us like about a day to travel either way back and forth. And then the day of the rehearsal and the downtime that we had, it was roughly like about 3 or 4 days. But like I said, due to the weather and everything going back and forth, ended up taking us roughly like about a week. But we got all the scenes that we needed to do. Usually when you're doing action sequences, as far as guys getting shot or getting the perfect shot with the vehicles and weapons, you want to try to be as meticulous as possible just so you don't have any accidents on set. And I think one of the things that we focused on the most was safety, to make sure that everybody went home safely that day.
Yeah, and another popular show that is on our screens at the moment, in terms of Netflix, we have sort of the whole Addams Family sort of sequence, and dare I say, people might not know, but you have a direct involvement in that, Robert.
Yes, I doubled Luis Guzman on various projects, from Shameless to movies to Keanu with Keanu Peele. So that's one of the things that we share in common, is I'm his double, and I tend to do other projects unless I'm busy with another project. Then another gentleman might step in at that time. But I've taken part and love doubling him in the past.